Why are you being a piece of... Okay, I'm on. So why is it still doing that stupid mode? Oh, that's good. Just click on the screen. There we go. Boom. Do we do full screen? No, like, oh my God, I figured it out. Look at that. Full screen. How about that? Can you hear me? Now, the thing is, now I cannot see. Let's see, where's the chat? I don't. Where's my chat at? That way I can pull up the comments. Go back into that. But, oh well, while we work this damn thing out, I guess, it wouldn't be me if I didn't have technical freaking difficulties at the beginning of every freaking show. Right? Right. So, as you were, little lady, and what I'll do is I'll just grab another phone and I'll look at the comment section from there. And then that way I can tell if it's freaking working or not. So, with that being said, put the headphones on in a second. Let me get the hell out of this and go over to the comment section of said live stream. So thank you for being so patient while I do this. I really do appreciate that. It is him. Okay. Let me turn that shit down. How about that? That way I can read the chat and then I don't have to worry about. And you know what? I don't even know if that really counts as watch time or not, but fuck it. Okay, so let me make sure I got this on right. All right, so here's the deal, Pickle. What I was wanting to talk about tonight was a couple of different things. I know we wanted to talk about the incel stuff, which has to do, which is apparently this stupid. Okay, let me rephrase that. It is a term, hey Pookie Bear, that they use for people that are what I guess they're calling themselves involuntarily celibate. Hey, thank you for just joining me. Um, which I feel like already they're going to start attaching some sort of stigma to that, and that really annoys me because um, there's nothing wrong with being involuntarily. I mean, I guess if you don't want to be celibate and you're forced into it, I guess it feels wrong to you. But my point is, there's nothing wrong with being celibate because sex really complicates things. I don't care what age you are, it always tends to eventually complicate shit. It really does because people have feelings, and then other people sometimes don't care about their feelings, and shit just fucking happens. So, and uh, another example of why you should be celibate is, for example, a lot of people get married to their high school sweetheart, and then they find out like 10 years down the road, hey, this ain't the person for me. But they've already got kids, so now they're stuck in this relationship that they may not necessarily want to be in, but for whatever reason, they're trying to make it work. Kids, whatever, you know what I mean? And then you realize, well, damn, maybe I should have waited. You don't really regret having your kids, but maybe had you stayed celibate and you met someone and you got to know them on a more deeper level before you slept with them, then maybe perhaps things would be different. I know that's something I reflect on a lot, and I'm not. That's not to say anything bad about my kids. It's just their dads. Their dads annoy me. I'm sure I annoy their dads, but still. Anyways, moving on back to this incel stuff. So they say there's like, okay, so in relation to the true crime stuff as it is right now, that's what they're calling the guy that allegedly killed the Idaho 4 is an incel, that he was involuntarily celibate, and basically in short form that I guess drove him to do what he did. I don't necessarily feel that way about that situation. I think that's kind of like a cop out if that is what type of defense he's going to try to conjure up. But because there's like a healthy outlet for that. A perfect example is the music that we're getting ready to discuss, because if you listen to the lyrics, a lot of it is the same type of stuff that these quote unquote incels, like when they're on their Reddit threads and shit, bitching and moaning about not, not being. It's stuff that the stuff that they talk about is stuff that we all go through at some point or another in our lives, like the depression. I've even experienced visual snow at a. It came on real suddenly. I didn't know what the hell it was. Um, so I thought I was going blind. I just did not tell anybody about it, and it lasted for about 5 straight years of me just getting up every day, and it literally was like as soon as I opened my eyes, somebody just was waiting to blow like microscopic dust particles in my eye, and it would feel grainy, and it would annoy the piss out of me all day, and it lasted for like 5 years, and then as suddenly as it came on, it just went away. So I don't know about other people's experiences with visual snow if they have, and if you haven't, then I recommend you go look more into that, because I can't really give you a good enough definition of what it is right now, because I just don't have the time and don't really want to get into that because it's not on my list. So if you do want to know more about visual snow, then I recommend you go look that up. There's a lot of true crime videos that are talking about it right now because it relates to that case at the University of Idaho. So um, the music though that I'm talking about, for example, like I listened to a lot of Korn, and I listened to a lot of Disturbed and stuff when I was in middle school and high school. I listened to a lot of metal bands. Um, Korn in particular, I really like their Issues album and Follow the Leader and stuff like that. But listening to their Issues album recently, listening to songs like Make Me Bad and Somebody, Someone, and what else do I have written down? Um, Freak on a Leash. Another song that's on that same album is a song called No Way. Um, all of those. And then on the one album, Follow the Leader, All in the Family is a little, it's at the end of the album. I used to love that song when I was a teenager. I don't know why, but yeah. All of their songs are talking about either Jonathan Davis's like personal depression and experiences and feelings about different things that went on in his life. So, like I said, there's a healthy way to deal with that shit when you're involuntarily celibate and you're getting frustrated. And that goes for guys and gals, because ladies, don't act like there ain't some of y'all out there too. They're involuntarily celibate for whatever reason. Just know there's a good way to go about things, and then there's a not so good way to go about things. Like I would say, killing 4 innocent people you don't know is probably not a good way to go about handling that. You know, I mean, and then again, another thing I think is so ridiculous about that whole involuntarily celibate thing. No, I get it. Nobody wants to sit around and jack off all the time, right? Okay, I get that. Too bad though. If you ain't getting laid, you ain't getting laid, and that's what that's for. That doesn't just because you're not getting laid doesn't give you a free pass to go kill people. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know, like I mean, really though, like I don't know how else to say that. Like when people are like, "Oh, it's because he's an incel," and no, that's a cop out. People are voluntarily and involuntarily celibate all the time and have been for ages and are going to be forever and more. It's just the facts of fucking life, because we're in this stupid hell trap where everything's a fucking bloody contradiction all the time. You just have to figure out a way to deal with the madness. That's what I do, anyways. And then, like this morning, I get up. I just hit my teeth. That sucked. And if you did catch parts of one of my last live streams, I was talking to Caucasian Sasquatch and Samuel about the Guidestones and stuff like that. Some of y'all may have caught that. Some of y'all may not. The craziest thing is that when I get up this morning, there's this new video allegedly. Well, it's a video I guess maybe I hadn't seen all of it in its entirety, but it talks about the Guidestones. It even goes into who possibly R.C. Christian could have been. or may have been, and all that stuff. And I just thought that that was just really interesting. Oh, wow, look what they're doing. They're just suddenly coming up with all this freaking information. But what really struck me about that was there was a guy, his name was Wyatt Martin. He's the one that helped provide the land, or went and found the land and did the bank transactions uh, with RC Christian so that not many people had to interact with that said person, who that was again a pseudonym. But he had a big IBM case. I'm talking about like a truck, an IBM truck, and that's what he said. It was an IBM truck that was full of documents related to the blueprints, the all the bank transactions related to the granite purchase, and the setup of the Guidestones. Um, which again, I just want to point out that was on because he did it. He even talked about this in the video. It was deeded to the county, which means that's state property, which means that was an act of terrorism. And why are we just ignoring that? I don't care how you feel about the Guidestones. Let's talk about the fact that it was a damn act of terrorism. Let's talk about that because that's clearly what that is. And the fact that nobody's talking about it is even more disturbing because we go over to Afghanistan and just blow up all kinds of shit, destroy all this just because we don't like it and we don't agree with it. And we feel like it's our job to do that, which again, America, could we just please for a minute start minding our own fucking business before we try to get in other people's business? I'm just saying. You don't see other countries running over here trying to jump in our business. Our government might tell us that, but I really don't think that's what the fuck they're concerned about because a lot of them are third world countries. So how could they even begin to start to fathom what the fuck we're doing over here? Anyways, I really feel like there's way more to that. And especially the fact that nobody's talking about it is just, it bothers me. It bothers me. And honestly, it's probably something that I'm going to periodically talk about until it gets addressed. Or honestly, y'all better hope I don't ever win one of the damn jackpots with the lottery. Is the first thing I'm gonna do is go straight back down there, straight to the granite company, and build them again. I would. Yeah, I thought about this. I thought about this a lot. There was other ones that are okay. Again, so even if you think that it's related to pagan worship, whatever, witchcraft, blah 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 blah, y'all let the Godstone stand. I mean, not the Godstones, but the Stonehenge. Stonehenge. I don't see nobody blowing up Stonehenge. It's the same fucking thing. It's just in a different country, and it wasn't erected as nicely as the ones in Georgia. It didn't have all that stuff written on it. It's the same thing, the same concept, same fucking concept. Why? Why? I don't understand why it is was such a big deal that people thought it was a bad thing. Like none of us are perfect, so how can we sit there and say that the people that erected it, because there was multiple people, the people that erected that, and they were just putting their ideas out there. There's their ideas, their thoughts, their opinions in the event that something happened, and there'd be a lot less. I feel like they knew, and they know that something is going to happen. Where when there's like, say for example, a reset, there will be that many people, if not less, left. Say like after the flood, and it was Noah and his family. I think it was a little bit more than that, but still, the same principle was there. The same principles are there. Is what that idea was for. So if there's a reset, then these are the ones. Just like I was telling my friend this morning, I said, okay, so we listen to people tell us that the Bible and the Ten Commandments in it came directly from God to us via a dude named Moses. So how is this not the same thing? How do we know that RC Christian dude didn't talk to God? And these aren't just a revised version of the Ten Commandments. We don't. What we do know is we don't fucking know that. We don't know that for sure. We don't know a lot of shit, but we sure like to run around thinking we did. And I'll be the first to admit I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything. There's like a lot of shit I'm probably wrong on, but I do try to do my research on stuff, especially if I'm going to talk about it. I mean, how freaking counterproductive would that be for me not to do research on shit that I'm about to talk about? So somebody can come in here and school my ass on some shit. No, I don't want to do that. I would rather just know what I'm talking about, have a good conversation with people, and then at the end of the day, we can agree to. Damn you! I had to look down. I had to look down. You did. You emailed. Okay. What was funny too in that IBM thing, they pulled out a document, right? And there's this thing at the bottom that was signed R.C. Christian, and he was like, "See, right there's a." Or, I'm sorry, it said Robert Christian, which is where they lead you down this little journey and rabbit hole to tell you who they think could have possibly been R.C. Christian and how they came up with that name. And then there was a dude that represented those dudes, and that's what they were saying. Anyways, Ted Turner got brought it. They were like, "Look, it says Robert Christian. It does not say Ted Turner." I don't know where that came from. Why does everybody? I need to do more research about that little tidbit right there about Ted Turner because I don't think my understanding or what I know to be true is what everybody else sees. I don't. It's weird. I don't know how to articulate that sometimes. Like, is Ted Turner still alive? I can't remember honestly. I seem like I looked this up not too long ago. Um, you were not. I know you did. It's just that God changed his email. And wait a minute. Okay, so you mean to tell me Ted Turner talks to God? I don't think so. I don't think God talks to Ted Turner. I think they have a middleman. His name is Bill Gates. He's the one buying up all the farmland, right? But especially, especially when you think about all of the people that, I mean, it's been there for how long? It's been vandalized how many times? And they kept just repairing it. They kept fixing it, cleaning it up, and all that. And then to just completely dismantle it after one stone was destroyed, it could have been repaired. You could have closed it off to where nobody would get over there and get hurt in the process, and then repaired the one stone. I do not understand. I will never understand why, unless they just, like I was saying this morning, it was like, no, wait a minute. Everything that they say on the guidestones, it doesn't matter because whether y'all like it or not, that's what's happening right now. Plain and simple. That's what's happening. And he's like, so how are they going to get rid of that many people? Well, if you look around, it seems like either the jab is going to get them or they're going to take each other out over stupid shit like you're not wearing a mask, and then like I'll, you know what I mean? Like just everybody carry on as you are. That's what I said. Everybody just carry on doing what you do, and we'll see what happens in the end. And if we're, and that's what I believe it really is. I believe the elite are the ones that can understand a lot of that stuff for what it means, not for what the interpretation is of a million other people that have a bias based in religious shit anyways. Those are the elite, the people that understand that and that will be here after everybody else is gone. I think that's what that means, and I think that's what they were there for. So I mean, take with it, take from that what you will. I'm not saying you're right or wrong whether you believe them or not. Either way, it doesn't matter to me. And if you want to judge me for how I feel about them, that's also, again, that's a you thing, not me. And I promise you, I'm not going to really lose that much sleep over it. Honestly, I'm really not. Uh, unless God calls me up and is like, Emma, you need to fix that. You need to do something about your little smart ass attitude, okay? Because that wasn't right. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But you never know, though. I think you just never know because remember everything. This reminds me of the sanity machine, God's plan or all source. Whether okay, so if there isn't, let's just theorize for a second. If there wasn't a God, then our entire every person's existence here would be for what? I feel like there's definitely a source, there's definitely a purpose, there's definitely some reason that each and every single one of us is here. for whatever reason. So whether you want to call it God's plan or the all source plan, or hell, if you're a devil worshiper and you want to call it Satan's plan, it's Satan's plan, whatever the fuck. But it certainly, I don't think, was our plan, unless you want to look at it from the point of view, which I do most of the time, which is that we are just an extension of source, and the way that he experiences this realm in this meat suit through us. So therefore, yeah, it kind of is our plan, if you want to look at it like that. I don't know. That's just kind of I'm not saying, I don't think anybody should view themselves as God themselves, but they are just an extension of God. And so that if you do believe that there's a higher power that can come through you and do things through you, then you're able to do that. You just, it's all, like I say all the time, I strongly, I don't want to say I believe, because believe is something that is totally different than like knowing. And like, I know, I know that I'm an extension of source. And I know that there are times where like God does things, or all source does things through me, and things come out of my mouth that when I'm done talking, I literally have no idea where I come up with that, how it came out of my mouth, where it come from, how I articulated it so well and stuff. And then there's other times where it's like, that's clearly Emma. That's clearly something that she thought out of her own semi-intelligent Homo sapien hybrid brain. So therefore, that's just the way I operate my whole life. Like, I literally tell myself all the time, I'm a Jedi. I can use the Force. I throw up force fields all the time. I really wish I could cloak myself though. If I could do that, like predator style shit, where I just cloak myself and just run through the woods and nobody see me except like shimmery, like through the woods, it's so fucking awesome. But it's not the reality that I live in yet. But if we could get humanity on that collective consciousness to where we all were kind of like minded in that sense, then yeah, I think that would be like freaking stupendous. Um, Also, Disturbed, their debut album, like has, let's see, Stupefy, Down with the Sickness, Voices, Meaning of Life, Want. Want is a song that's on his debut album that specifically talks about self hatred. If you listen to the lyrics of Want, that's on Disturbed's debut album, um, it talks about David Draymond's almost self hatred. It sounds like, for being a Jew, which is just really incredibly sad when you think about it. Um, but that is also the lyrics in those songs, whether it's talking about self hatred or whatever, with his own self anti-Semitism, um, that he's had to deal with over the years. Because I've seen a lot of different interviews where he talks about this stuff, and how seeing the tattoo on his grandmother's arm affected him for like so long. But those are also incel top, lyrics if you read them over, um, which I do. I listen to music a lot, and it's because of the lyrics that I am into a lot of the music that I'm in, not necessarily the beat. A lot of times it has to do with the lyrics that I'm listening to music and stuff. Um, I'm pretty sure that's everything. What else did I have as the what you call it here? What was in the hashtag? Oh yeah, and roasting. We are at the final topic of the night. So I learned some really cool stuff this week. I learned that my newfound friend, the Caucasian Sasquatch, and my son share a birthday. Oh, by the way, guess what? I failed him as a mom. I failed him as a parent. He's never seen the movie. So I don't even know. Like, I don't even know where to start with him when it comes to that. But I was like, okay, well, um, for your birthday, I'm gonna go and basically be the sacrificial lamb for you, son, and I'm gonna get roasted. So for this one time, you can actually see your mom literally get her ass torched and laugh about it. It'll be the free pass because you guys have the same birthday. And I think that's so cool. Like, that's super cool. But now I'm like, I gotta get him to watch that movie so he can understand why you truly struggle with that day. And how cool is it too that Samuel's brother is also got a birthday on Groundhog's Day? So uh, shout out to all the people that have a birthday on 2/2/23. Uh, that's exactly that's so that is the plans for anybody that is curious as to what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the week. Either tomorrow or Wednesday night, it will be a live stream with me and my lady, Dame Von Bon Daisy, and then Thursday, of course, I will be getting roasted by a Caucasian Sasquatch. And then in between now and then, I'll probably be popping in and out of all of my friend creators chats and also doing what I do best, which is just sit around and edit videos of really random and sometimes nonsensical content, depending on whether or not you're actually paying attention to the video or not. And this year, of course, I do plan on continuing on with the podcast as well as starting back with the art because I have some canvases that are just dying for some paint to be smacked up on them. So yeah, so that's what I just wanted to give you guys because tomorrow being the 31st, because the way this year has started off, I've like really had a freaking rough start to it, and I'm gonna do a podcast tomorrow. So tomorrow morning I'll be working on the podcast. So I'm gonna try to get a little bit of sleep tonight to get the intro and all that stuff knocked out um, early in the morning, and I've also been working on another new intro for my channel because every time I kind of like switch what you call seasons up, I try to give a new intro to the channel that highlights all the previous stuff from other years in the channel because the channel is going into its fourth year, I think now. If I'm not mistaken, I'll have to look, but I know definitely 3 for sure because I was pre-pandemic when I first started the channel. And then that whole thing really kind of sidelined me when it came to the art, and it put me in a funk mood. And I had been in one heavy like artist block when I guess is what it's called, kind of like how writers get blocked, artists get that same kind of thing too. Um, and I hate that because I really do like painting. I like paint pouring, and I like art of all kinds. I like drawing and markers, color. Obviously, I have that whole tapestry beside me, which also goes with last season's what I'm calling the last season of M's Mad World, which is basically just never ending periodics of my life with a bunch of drama and a bunch of life changing events. And apparently, one continuous trauma after another. Right when I think I'm about to deal with one, oh, they drop another one in my lap. I love it. But I guess that's all part of the training here, right? I guess. Uh, so rather than just sit there and keep doing the whole, what you call it, rambling on and on, because I got like other stuff that I said I was going to be working on. And I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. And oh, last but not least, I got a list of some awesome channels and creators that I have had the wonderful experience of meeting and interacting with. And that starts out with, of course, Caucasian Sasquatch, as well as Snark and Sass, Gurney, Truth Be Told Audits, Shades of Grey, Brooklyn Brooklyn Audit, Andy Garcia, Andrew, um, the Sanity Machine, Squirrel Sniper, Pushkin Castle, Lizzo French, Just JP, Whitaker's True Crime, Calistoga Refried, Callum Wilkinson, everybody that's in the Magic Treehouse, and did I miss anybody? Be Bodacious and Women's Channel Station, I think, is also another one that, and Michelle, I think that's how I say her name, Michelle, as well as AJOT, which is Sasquatch's. Um, she does the intros. She's just freaking hilarious, y'all. Like, oh my God, American Justice of Texas. She's another audit person. So all those people, yeah, obviously, because now I'm gonna have to go in. I'm gonna put in the description of this. I'm gonna go in and put all their links so that way it makes it easier for you to find them if you haven't already found them. And if you have, then you know exactly why I'm telling you about them because they're fucking awesome. So, um, not that my opinion matters to any of y'all. I mean, really? Does it really? Probably on like, I don't know. Uh, Even if it doesn't matter to y'all and y'all just want to hear me rant or rave or bitch or be silly and nonsensical, and occasionally I do spout off stuff that is actually pretty intelligent and put together and cohesive, and it's just good, damn good advice. And I know that because I get feedback occasionally from my friends and my children. My daughter more so than my son, but I think my son is going to be paying a little bit more attention to me now because I got brownie points when I told him about being friends with Caucasian Sasquatch. And then he got even more brownie points when I told him that I was going to get roasted for his birthday, which was also Caucasian's birthday. And he was like, no way. I was like, yes way. I was like, now you got to go watch Groundhog Day though for real. You need to hit your dad up and find out if it's on demand or what the deal is. Because I don't have cable where I live. I think my son and his dad still actually have cable. They don't use a Fire Stick or anything like that. I don't even use a Fire Stick, y'all. I use like a first edition Chromecast, and it's stuck in my TV, and that's how I watch TV. And I watch whatever I want to, except for Netflix. I don't have a Netflix account, and I don't get to just watch Netflix whenever I want to because I said I don't have a Netflix account, so which really sucks. It's like I had an opinion. You're so funny. Every time I'm like bummed out or whatever, if it's I get on there, I'll see either one of your shorts or Rich's shorts, and every time I put one on, I just laugh. I just laugh. I'm like hysterical. But this morning, first thing I did was I got up and I was watching Legion Wire. His Shania Twain reaction was hilarious. And then NC Tyrant Hunter, dude had me in the floor rolling. I'm talking about literally just laughing hysterically. De escalate, just de escalate, de escalate. I was like, because I'm always saying that. I'm like, see, when you're standing here arguing back with me and you know that I'm just not going to stop because you keep picking at me. This is when you should de-escalate the situation, and you're not. You're trying to escalate the situation, and that's why I'm gonna put my headphones in and tune you out. And then when I hear you in between songs, after about 2 songs, then I'm probably gonna come unglued. I'm tired of going deaf in an effort to be civilized with people. Because y'all, have you ever put the headphones in your ears and cranked it all the way up to 100% volume and tried to not take them off your head? Do it, and then do it and do it and do it and do it until you don't have to take them off your head because it shocks you. That's what I've been doing for over a year. Like I won't listen to my headphones now unless I have the volume all the way up, just because I don't want to hear anything else. When I put them in or I put them on, I want absolute noise cancellation and I want to be in the zone. I want to be immersed in the music. So, or whatever it is that I'm watching. But yeah, I love headphones and earbuds. They're like my bestie, other than my besties. So, um, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I'm gonna make it a short one tonight. That way I can get some editing done and maybe throw something in the microwave and eat it real quick. Eat some nuke food, nuclear wasteland food. And then, like I said, tomorrow or Wednesday, I will put a community tab post up to let you know for sure. But it will be me and the wonderful Dame Von Daisy, and we will be discussing a couple of different things. But in particular, we are trying to uh, help a mutual subscriber of ours. And also, me and her just, it's date night for us. Okay. It's date night. She's been sick. We haven't got to really talk a lot so much lately. We've been taking it back again and forth, but it's time for us to do date night. It's been a minute. So that's what's up. And if you guys want to see that, then you should probably come back and click like, subscribe, whatever. Spread the word. As long as it's not bullshit and lies and false narratives, then that's good. Okay. And then as long as you're not harming other people, do what you do and live your life and be the best you can be. Even if it's a majestic unicorn or an elusive creature such as Sasquatch. Either way, find your tribe and be you. Be happy. Stay awake, stay aware, stay safe. Much love, one love, good vibes. Good night, guys.